Hi, this is Mr. Hewland, and we're going to work on the Aleks topic of solving for a variable in terms of other variables when there's a fraction involved. Uh, Disclaimer, there's more than one way to do this, but I think I'm showing you the easiest way. I'm going to solve for y, which means get y by itself, but I have this pesky 1/5 hanging around here. It's really messing things up. So one thing I can do is I can get rid of the 1/5 by multiplying each side by the reciprocal of 1/5, which is 5 over 1. That's what that would look like. This reciprocal of 1/5 is 5 over 1, so I multiply the left-hand side by 5 over 1, and to be fair and keep things in balance, I multiply the right-hand side by 5 over 1. So 5 over 1 is just really a 5, so I get 5w, and here's the miracle. 5 over 1 times 1 over 5, this reduces or multiplies to 1. So reduce, reduce, kind of reduce, reduce. And I get x plus y minus v. So multiplying by the reciprocal caused me to get rid of that fraction. Now to solve for y, my path is a lot easier. I'm going to get rid of the v. And now I have 5w plus v. They are not like terms, so I cannot combine them. Now I'm going to get rid of the x. It's a plus x, so I will subtract x from each side. X minus x is 0, so now I have just y on the right side. On the left side, none of these are like terms, so I can't combine them, so I just write that. And I have solved for y. I'm going to do one more example. I'm going to go faster, and it's going to be a messier example. I want to solve for y. I have a fraction. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal on each side. I'm going to abbreviate this now. I'm going to go faster. So now by multiplying by the reciprocal on each side, these two fractions are going to reduce or multiply to 1, and I'm just left with x plus 3y minus 2v equals 5 halves w. Now I'm going to pause this for a second and complete the rest of my work of solving for y. Through the miracle of pausing, this has now been completed, but what I've done is I haven't shown all my work like the previous example, but I moved the 2v over to the other side by adding 2v to each side. Then I moved the x over to the other side by subtracting x from each side. This equation, which I've recopied up here, I'm almost done. I've almost solved for y, but you see that I have a times 3. So I divide by 3 on this side. I divide by 3 on this side, and voila, I've solved for y. This example, much more complicated than the first.